All right, guys. Base Muslim here, coming to you with another video. Base Muslim, aka Blue Hefner, aka Base Fula, aka the one that feminists, misandrists, uh, liberal Muslims, modern women, Pan Africanists, pro black, and conscious community love to hate. So I was reflecting on something, and it just seems like certain things line up in a certain way, and it kind of makes me think, okay, maybe I have to remind myself, hey, you're dragging your feet right now. Let's pick it up. So, when at the boxing gym today, I was, the day I was there yesterday, someone asked me about the shirt I was wearing. It was called the Ahmad Fight Club shirt. And at first I thought this guy was Mexican. That's what I thought. I thought, okay, well, this guy must be a Mexican. How does he know about this? I don't know. But then I said to myself, like, should I ask this guy if he's Chechen? Maybe. But then today, I wore a beanie that had the Kyrgyzstan flag on it. That's what set everything in motion that will kind of allude to the reason why I'm making this video. Little did I know that this gentleman was not Mexican at all. He was actually Tajik, but was brought up in Uzbekistan. We got to talking about Uzbekistan. I showed him a movie that I actually edited with the Uzbekistan army. He then again starts talking to me more. Granted, we share the same sentiments, especially about the alphabet soup community, which is why he got his son involved in boxing in the first place. He actually went on to tell me that, yeah, my son was becoming soft, so I had to get him in some boxing. I said, job well done, you know. So, now what I want to say is that I was asking him questions. Now, granted, I've been to that part of the world already, but I was asking him just different questions. I didn't realize how many Islamic scholars were from that place. The likes of al-Bukhari. I think there was a guy named al-Biruni. I think there was a guy named Avicenna or Ibn Sina. Now, granted, Ibn Sina, he has some, rather choice words for black people. But that's another video in itself. We're not about to talk about that. And he also mentioned another famous scholar that was from that region. Now, the way I connected with us, I'm talking about Africans, is that many scholars from the African continent study those the books of these people. Okay. Let me try to find the book actually that I have right now. Let me find it. Just give me a second. Okay, here we go. Okay. So there was another scholar. Okay, let me see. Yes, there was another scholar by the name of I want to say Al Nasafi. That scholar actually, Shehu Uthman Damfodio Rahmatullah alayh, he actually studied books from him. So we furthermore got to talking, and little did I know that the one who wanted to reconcile and keep peace between Russia and Chechnya by the name of Ahmed Kadyrov, Rahmatullah alayh, may Allah have mercy on him, Ahmed Sila, also studied at a madrasa in this area known as Uzbekistan. Because what this brother told me is, he told me at one point all that region was one area. All that region from stretching from Kazakhstan all the way to Afghanistan was all one entity until it was cut up through various factors. You know, I'm not going to just point to Russian colonization. I'm not going to just point to that. I'm not going to point to Russia consolidating that whole area and doing what it pleases. I'm not going to just say that. But that's one of the factors, though. But there were other factors as well. You have to keep something in mind. Just like in Africa, there were collaborators with the colonists. Okay, that's just a universal thing, unfortunately, is that colonists will collaborate with others. Okay, that's just how it works. Now, there was something that he told me that lets me know that perhaps I am dragging my feet to return to that part of the world. Number one, he said Uzbekistan was number one in boxing, and that you would benefit from how high altitude training in Uzbekistan. Okay, that's point number one. Okay. Point number two, he told me that many Africans are studying there now in medical school or different areas of, or in different disciplines. Different disciplines, he says they're studying now in Uzbekistan. Number three, and maybe I was out of my range in asking, because I even asked, is this I said this is going to be a personal question. I asked him, are the women in Uzbekistan still traditional women, and or are they secularized? He said, for the most part, most of them are traditional, in that even if they don't wear the hijab, the veil, they are still traditional. They are still strongly Muslim. Now, I want to flip to something, unfortunately, that was said, and I don't know why this person said this, but it goes to a deeper problem of this person. But and this is a problem that I am going to address and actually propelled propelled the propelled the story, or propelled the title in which I am basically using for this. Okay, so this person had the audacity, and he's Muslim, and I'm not trying to make slander on him or anything like that. I'm not trying to slander, but he had the audacity to dick police. And what I mean by that is he knows I'm African. He knows that Africans speak a lot of languages, and he also knows that Africans, for the most part, may be well traveled as well. He had the audacity to say, "Why are you self-hating?" Because I was inquiring about this, and I also asked the Uzbek brother, "Hey, is it a good time to go to Uzbekistan?" He said now would be a perfect time to go to Uzbekistan. Okay. I was already planning on going anyway. That was already part of my plan. That was already something that I was already going to do. But the thing is that I have only me to blame. Uh, but there's certain things that you have to get in order here in order to go to a different place, which inshallah pretty soon I will have it in order, inshallah I'll have it in order soon, inshallah. So what happened is that what happened is that when we kept on talking, he was telling me everything about the details, what to expect, and what have you, and he just really was happy that I was actually that I was actually interested in going. He was actually happy about this. So the other brother, though, and this is the point I want to get across. This is my main point in this video. Brothers need not to dick police other brothers if they're checking out and going elsewhere for wives. Okay? And they need to stop bringing up things like, "Oh, you're self-hating. Oh, why can't you get a black woman?" Listen, it's not our job to fix these women, okay? It's not a man's job to do that. And historically speaking, did Muslim men fix women? Or did they add to the women? Okay? Let's take an example. Khadijah, the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu salam's wife, right? She was already established. She had a business. She was married before. The Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu salam came into her life and added clarity with what he brought. But he didn't fix her. There was no, "Oh, she has a body count of 30," or has rode the rooster carousel for so long. Oh, she's a single mother. Let me do this. There was none of that. And that's the same thing with other companions. There was none of that. So I hate to say this, but we're not obligated to, marry these Muslim women here for the simple fact that they're a part of the gender war as well. And we did not, and I want to get this point across because a lot of people, for some reason, think that there was this patriarchy in place that started this thing all. And that wasn't ever the case, okay? We didn't start the gender war. We simply decided we were going to finish it. That's what happened. But we did not start this, okay? We just decided to finish it. And so what I'm trying to say is we're not in any obligation to marry any woman here, okay? So men need to stop not only pandering, but trying to guilt trip us for going elsewhere to want to marry women. They need to stop that. Okay, that's our right. Especially when our intentions are good. That brother, and that's one thing too, is when you get these converts, they don't leave their old ways behind them. So for example, if you get most of the time, if you get like one of these radical Pan-African pro-blacks who enter the fold of Islam, they still carry that sentiment because of the simple fact that the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu salam loves his people. But in the same way, the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu salam talked about his people. The Quran talked about his people, the Bedouin Arabs. So he didn't love his people that much that he would just be like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to accept everything. No, that's why the Islam came. So what I'm saying is we're not under any obligation to accept ran up women, imbalanced pHs, increase STD rates among them since they're having copulating with just a small percentage of guys. We don't have to accept that, man. Muslim or non-Muslim. Okay? And I'm just going to leave it on this note. Okay? A reminder to self and to people watching this is we'll never be ready to travel completely. But at least get the main ducks in the row in order to get ready to travel. And just try to take little steps to travel. Okay? Try to take little itty bitty baby steps to travel. Now, what I want to say is that also the final sermon of the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu salam, although people forget that sermon, is that, the Prophet Muhammad said that there's no superiority between an Arab and non-Arab, a non-Arab or an Arab, a white over a black, or a black over a white, except for in their character. So when you see these women, and this includes Muslim women in the West, and their characters are bad, it's not our job to try to reform their characters, okay? We'll exhaust ourselves to do that. So to this brother who may be watching, You need to get past. You need to stop dick policing. Okay, and actually be happy that a brother does want to go and complete half his deen instead of running through them, running through these women, which that option is available to me as well if I decided to go that route, but I don't want to. So my message would be, as a closing note, it's just can't drag our feet. We got to take itty bitty steps towards what we're after. And also not listen to naysayers who think that they may be doing the right thing by trying to keep us here, but are really doing a detriment to us. But with that being said, Fula signing out. I'm Jadama.